What if 2025 is the year that everything changes for you? What if this is the year that you stop playing small and you decide to go all in on everything that you've always wanted? And what if you could have playful energy with it? What if you could treat it like an experiment rather than taking it so seriously? Why not? Why continue waiting until the perfect time? Right now is the perfect time. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. I love that quote because it's just a powerful reminder that we can start at any point. It is never too late to start. And you don't even have to wait until the new year like everybody else is. You could start as soon as you see this video. And this is honestly the best video that you can watch if you want to make all of your dreams come true in 2025. Because in today's video, we're going to be talking about going all in on yourself and what you need to do to actually make that happen for yourself. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia, and this is the fourth video of my December series called Glowmas, where I help you glow from the inside and out. If you like these kinds of videos, definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell, and without further ado, let's get into it. I really do think that one of the main things that holds us back from being consistent and taking action is our inability to be flexible. Your all or nothing mindset is holding you back. And I know that because for the longest time, it has held me back, and it is something that I'm actively working on releasing. That all or nothing mindset creeps up whenever you think, I didn't go to the gym on Monday, well, I might as well just not go this week and I'll try again next week. Or if you had one cookie, well, I might as well just eat the entire box. But life is never gonna be perfect. It's never gonna be super easy. There are always things outside of us that we can't control, but what we can control is our reaction to it and our response and how we choose to show up. One of the best things you can do is learn the skill of flexibility and learning how to quickly pivot and adapt. So what if it's 5 p.m. and you haven't done any of your non-negotiables? You can start now. You can turn your day around at 5 p.m. So what if it's Wednesday and you still haven't gone to the gym? You can go to the gym now and choose to go the rest of the week. Having this type of mindset where you choose to focus on getting things done rather than always just getting things done when it's perfect is what's going to allow you to stay consistent. And instead of focusing on giving the same exact 100% every single time, just give what you can in the moment. So maybe going to the gym today only looks like a 45-minute at-home workout. Maybe it only looks like a 10-minute at-home workout. Or maybe it just looks like a walk around the block. Or maybe it does look like going to the gym for 2 hours and having a really high intensity workout. It's not always going to look the same every single day. And that is okay, as long as you're continuing to show up and allowing yourself to quickly adapt and be flexible. And of course, that doesn't mean that we don't want to strive to improve and to give the best when we can. But if you're constantly expecting perfection out of yourself and you're wondering why you're not consistent, that's definitely why. So chances are, whatever it is that you're struggling with, it's not the starting of it, it's the sticking with it when it gets tough or when you don't see the results. It is so easy for somebody to open up TikTok and start a new TikTok account and post their first video. But can you post every single day for an entire year when you see no results? It is so easy for somebody to write the first page of their book. But can you sit down and write an entire book, even when you don't know exactly where the plot is going? The problem isn't starting, it's sticking with it when you don't see the results or when it gets difficult. And this isn't a personality trait that you're born with. It's not like some people are just born with the ability to persist even without seeing results. This is a skill that you can hone in on. It's a muscle that you can build. And the way that you build that muscle is by continuing to show up even on the hard days. Your brain thrives on evidence. So the more evidence that you can give yourself that you can show up and that you are capable of pushing past your thoughts and your feelings in the moment, the more you're going to be able to build that confidence in yourself to continue to show up. So that when you have those moments of your mind convincing you to stay home and not go to the gym, you can pull up a previous memory where you did push through those thoughts. You went to the gym and you felt better as a result of going. And now guess what? All of a sudden you're like, well, I did it once, I can do it again. The more you give your mind evidence that you can show up even when you're sad, even when you're down, even when you're not feeling it, the more confidence you build in yourself. And of course, I am all about balance. I'm all about listening to your body and resting when you need it. But you need to learn the difference between resting when you genuinely need it and self-sabotaging. Like for me, I can definitely tell when I am binge watching Netflix for the sake of avoiding my problems, as opposed to binge watching Netflix because I want to rest or I had a difficult week. And it's a very thin line, but once you become aware of it, you can pull yourself out of those moments a lot easier. And it also helps if you're in therapy as well, because what I've learned in my own journey is that avoidance is a part of me. So something my therapist has been working with me on is internal family systems, but it's essentially that we have a lot of different parts within us, and those parts are what make up the whole that we are. So you may have a part of yourself that is sad or depressed or avoidant. So like for me, I have an avoidant part of me that comes up as a way to distract me from dealing with very real problems. So being in therapy has allowed me to kind of create this relationship with these different parts of me, so that when I have these familiar emotions come up, I can almost kind of have a conversation with that part of me and say, hey, do you mind stepping to the side for a little bit? Let me just get this done, and then we can go back to relaxing. So sometimes I'll do that with myself, where right now I'm heavy in my binge watching Vampire Diaries era, but I still have goals. Like I want to post every other day from December 1st to December 25th for Vlogmas. Well, Glowmas, my version of Vlogmas. But then there's that avoidant part of me that wants to continue binge watching. So I have to have a conversation with that avoidant part of me and say, hey, I'm gonna get these videos done and then I'll sit on the couch and watch Netflix. So I've said this before and I will say it again because I really do believe that it's true. No matter what goal you have in life, physical health should always be number one. It should always be number one priority, because your well-being determines how you show up for your goals, for the people in your life, and also for yourself. If I were to set an income goal, I know that I could not reach that income goal if I wasn't also taking care of my well-being. So even though my business may not correlate exactly to health and wellness, it still would be a number one priority for me, because focusing on my health and well-being is what's going to allow me to show up better for my business. So make this the year that you create routines that support your well-being. And when it comes to the whole world of health and wellness, I do think it's a journey of learning what works best for you. And I created a video earlier this week all about the 10 healthy girl habits that have really improved my life. So I will leave that video up here if you want to check it out. But a couple of things that have really helped with my health and well-being is going on daily walks and hitting my daily step goal. That is such a great habit to have for muscle recovery and then also just for your mental health. It is so good to get steps in. Going to the gym and lifting weights. It is so important for us to have muscle mass for longevity and health. Stretching or doing yoga for mobility and joint health. Drinking water, like literally, you want to see how much water I drink a day? This is my Stanley cup. I think this one is like the 40-ounce one. It could be a little bit bigger. I probably drink 3 of these a day. And I always start my days with electrolytes, because I also don't think it's about the quantity of your water. I also think it's about the quality of your water. So adding trace minerals or electrolytes into your water is gonna be really great too. Another great habit is having an 80-20 lifestyle when it comes to your eating habits, so that you still allow yourself to indulge and to treat yourself, but a majority of the time you're eating healthy, unprocessed foods that support your health and well-being. Meditating, spending time in nature, reducing your screen time, and if you can, investing in a personal trainer or a nutritionist to help you if you struggle with things like overeating or you don't really have a lot of knowledge when it comes to nutrition, because a lot of us don't. Honestly, we weren't taught a lot of these things growing up. I've had to do a lot of research over the years into different ingredients that best support my body and also the ingredients to avoid too. Make this the year where you invest in yourself. That's something I was thinking about the other day, how I am just in this era of investing in myself and always possible. You are your greatest investment, and that doesn't always mean investing with money, but investing with your time and with your energy into yourself and doing the things that help you feel like your best self. And if you have the resources to do so, invest in therapy, invest in a life coach, invest in a business mentor if you have one, or a career coach. Something that is really great nowadays is that there is literally a coach for everything and anything. So any niche problem that you have, there's probably a coach out there that can help you with that. I've even seen like procrastination coaches, like just very specific coaches for very specific things. And we don't always have to be in an era of like working with people, like working with coaches, working with therapists. But if you notice that you're having trouble going after your goals and there are things that are holding you back that you just can't figure out how to work through on your own, that's when I think it is so helpful to invest in somebody. That's exactly why I decided to invest in therapy, is I knew that there were things that were holding me back. Like I had so many difficult experiences earlier this year that I knew were going to continue to hold me back if I didn't actually work with somebody to work through those things. Your identity is everything. Who you say you are and who you believe you are is who you become. So something I realized recently is that one of the biggest purposes in me moving cross country was to create my own identity and figure out who I was outside of the environment that I was born and raised in. So if you're unfamiliar with my story, I was born and raised in South Florida, and 2 years ago I moved to San Diego, and I just recently moved back and I'm sort of like rebuilding my life out here. And I've really been reflecting on my time out there and this purpose that it served in my growth. So something I realized is that who I wasn't who I authentically was at my core. I was just a product of my environment. So for example, growing up, I always thought of myself as very shy, quiet, introverted, but moving out to San Diego made me realize that I'm actually none of those things. I am a little bit slow to warm up. It does take me a little bit to get out of my comfort zone because I like to really get to know somebody first. I don't like to offer up so much information about myself when I first meet somebody, but I'm definitely not quiet or introverted. Clearly, I have a YouTube channel. I am not quiet at all. I love to yap. And I really like socializing. Like I would say that on a scale of introverted to extroverted, I am probably like 50% introverted. So there's still a huge part of me that is extroverted and really loves socializing. And I didn't learn this until I moved cross country. I just allowed people to put me in a box and then I stayed there. And moving cross country is what allowed me to realize, wait a second, I don't have to put myself in this box anymore because I don't actually identify with this. You don't have to be something just because other people tell you that's who you are or just because that's always the way you have been. Sometimes that is the benefit of leaving your hometown, is that there's not constant reminders in your environment of who you used to be. And then you can kind of decide for yourself who you want to be instead. And you can sort of challenge the boxes that your environment placed you in. You can ask yourself, do I really resonate with this identity trait that I have been living in my entire life? Do I really feel like I am this type of person? Do I really resonate with this box that I've been placed in? You get to decide who you want to be. So if there are things about you that are holding you back or that you no longer resonate with, you can decide to change them. Start asking yourself every single day, what would the best version of myself do? What would she be thinking? How would she be moving through life? And then make choices that align with that version of yourself, and you'll find yourself slowly moving closer and closer to your goals. I think another reason we struggle to go all in on ourselves is that at the core of it, there's a lack of self-trust. There is a lack of trusting that you can do it. A couple of months ago when I decided that I wanted to get back on YouTube, I set the goal to post 2 times a week. And when I first set that goal, everything in me did not believe that was possible because I was not used to doing that and I didn't think of myself as a consistent person. But the more I did it and the more I showed up consistently, the more I built that self-trust. It is a muscle that you need to build. One of the biggest things that changed my life was realizing that so many things that you believe people are born with are actually skills that you can develop. And maybe somebody had it a little bit easier because they were taught this skill earlier on in life, but that doesn't mean that you are now doomed because you weren't taught it. It just means that you can develop those skills. Even with communicating, I always thought of myself as somebody who was really awkward and I couldn't have small talk, but then I realized that is a skill that you can build. So I started learning how to build the skill of being a good conversationalist and having good small talk with. But going back to the self-trust thing, it is just a muscle that you can build. So you can start small. You can start with committing to one small thing that you're going to do every single day. So It can be something like drinking water when you first wake up. Committing to that because it's so easy, and then after a week, you'll start to notice, wait, I've been consistent for a week now. Like, I can continue doing this. I can add something else. Every time you do what you say you're gonna do, you build confidence and self-trust. Confidence comes from doing what you say you're gonna do, but it's something that you can build up. So slowly start building your self-trust and you'll notice your confidence will improve. I just want to remind you that 2025 is going to be your year no matter what life throws at you, because it's not about waiting for everything to be perfect. You know, I don't want to say that your 2025 is going to be perfect. I don't want to say that my 2025 is going to be perfect. It's about crafting and improving on the skills that are going to allow you to face life's challenges and to go after the things that you want, regardless of the circumstances that are in your way. Learning how to pivot, learning how to be flexible and adapt, and continuing to persist. We don't want to affirm that life is going to be perfect and that life is easy. We want to affirm that we are strong enough to handle whatever life throws at us. And we want to build those skills that will allow us to be strong in adversity. So why not make today the day that you decide to go all in on yourself? You can start small and you can work your way up to it, but you don't need to wait until the perfect time. So I really hope that you like this video. Definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell, and I will see you on my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.